What's up, y'all? I'm back at y'all with another video. Now, we're going to talk about introverted men live the best life. And the reason why introverted men, we live the best life is because we spend a lot of time by ourselves. So as we spending so much time by ourselves, connecting with the universe, finding ourselves, finding what our strengths is, finding out what our weaknesses is. We spend so much time by ourselves. By we doing that, we kind of tend to find out who we are, as people much quicker than, sometimes extroverted people. And another reason why introverted men live the best life is because we don't mind being alone. We don't, It gives us time to think when we are alone. And we come up with these very creative ideas of, how we want our life to be in the future, or come up with these great plans of like, what can we do in the moment? You know what I'm saying? We have a very good imagination. We talk to ourselves a lot, in our heads. And by us doing that, we basically just discovering so much, about ourselves. And that causes us to find our purpose. And once we find our purpose, a lot of times introverted men, we're not distracted by the temporary things of this world. We live in our own universe and we control our universe. Another reason why, introverted men live the best life is because we don't mind leaving relationships. We don't have this scarcity mindset of, we think that she's going to leave us, or, when it comes down to relationships, we just still putting ourselves first. We not, getting so caught up and emotionally attached to women. We know how women are, We do. We study women. We study female nature. We study just people in general. You know what I'm saying? And another reason why introverted men live the best life is because we tend to do things that's going to benefit us. We don't let these succubus and these narcissistic women, we don't let them dictate our lives. We don't let them get us off track when it comes down to our purposes. When it come down to our purpose, we just don't. You know what I'm saying? If we're doing something, and somebody interrupt us, we're going to tell them straight up, hey, I'll talk to you later or after this or whatever. And then we continue to stay focused. We're not very extremely talkative. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to know about what you have done today, or we don't want to hear you complaining about your relationships or what you're doing. We're more into what we are doing. Next, another reason why introverted men, live the best life is because we accept reality. Yes, we accept reality. We accept these things for what it really is. We accept this world for what it really is. We know that we're living a lot. I'm gonna say a lot of people, not us, but a lot of people that's not self-aware, we know that they're living a lie. You know what I'm saying? These women, they get on social media and they post, them being on vacation, or do a video of them being out somewhere to another country. And we know that for a fact that majority of the time, they did not pay for that vacation. We know that it's a man in the picture, but she's just not showing him because she wants you to think that she has all this money and she's living her best life, when really she's living in delusion. She doesn't have money. She's living based off of someone else's check. You know what I'm saying? Someone else's money. Somebody else is spending money on her. Another reason why introverted men live the best life is because we're not afraid to accept the truth. We're just not afraid to accept the truth. at all. We just know that, you know, deep down inside, we're spiritual people and we very self-aware of ourselves. So we know when something doesn't sound right. We know when something is not true. We know when something is true too. You know, we know that for a fact that a lot of stuff that we was taught, you know, with school, and we know a lot of stuff that we was taught as kids, is a lot of this stuff is just false indoctrination, just for you to, you know, cater to what the Matrix wants you to do so it can benefit, you know, the higher power. They just want you to do what, they just want you to get into what they want so you can benefit them. We know that. We know that what they taught us in school, you know, in those history textbooks, is not really the truth. We know that it's not the truth. We know that, you know. We do a lot of studying. Next, the reason why introverted men live the best life is because when we're alone and we mess up, we're not afraid to correct ourselves. You know, we don't try to blame nobody for our decisions that we make. If we make a bad decision, we try to correct ourselves. And we learn during that process. You know, we don't let that tear us down. You know what I'm saying? We don't. And another reason why introverted men live the best life is because we are more secure with ourselves. You know, we don't feel like we need to post what we're doing online every day, or post sympathy posts, or try to get, you know, female validation. We don't try to impress women. We don't try to impress people, you know. We know what we can do and we know what we can't do. And we're not going to go all out our way just to impress someone else, just to impress the woman. You know what I'm saying? We put ourselves first. We put ourselves on the pedestal. We just celebrity. And she's the fan. We always treat them like the fan. You know what I'm saying? And another reason why introverted men live the best life is because we are always digging for knowledge. We always digging for knowledge. And by us digging for the lost knowledge that a lot of human beings have, we finding out that knowledge is helping us as a human being. It's helping us reaching our higher self mentally and spiritually. And also, too, it is making us much wiser, you know, at a younger age. A lot of introverted men, you know, they're very wise. And they're very wise because they sit back and watch. And they sit back and they wanna be around guys that know more than them. Believe it or not. You know, we want to be around people that know more than us. I do. You know, I'm gonna just speak for me. I'm an introverted man. I do, because I want to gain more knowledge. I don't have this big ego of sense of like, oh, I know it all and nobody else don't. You know, I'd rather be a student than a teacher, because when you are a teacher, they expect you to know everything. They expect you never to mess up. But when you are a student, you know, you're listening. You know, there's no room for you to mess up because you're learning so you can do things the right way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's you know, that's something that a lot of extroverted dudes, they want to be the teacher. They want to be more, you know, out there. They want to be seen. Us introverts, we don't want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Another thing too why introverted men live the best life is because we don't like being around a lot of people. We can sense negative energy, you know? When we in large crowds, we feel alone. We do. When we in large crowds, we feel alone. Like, it just doesn't feel right. But when we in the house or somewhere by ourselves, we feel more secure. Because, you know, we don't have all this noise around us, and it doesn't like really, nothing is bothering us. So we always living it inside our heads, not in our emotions. You know what I'm saying? And this is why introverted men, you know, live the best life. And two, introverted men live the best life because we don't let women be in control. We don't let, we know for a fact that how nature is supposed to be. We live under the law of nature. We don't live under the law of the like government. You know what I'm saying? We know that we live under the law of the government, but at the same time, we know that we're spiritual enough to know like how things really is supposed to be set up. You know, what position this person's supposed to be in, what position this person is supposed